Hello, everybody. It's Robert Anderson with the Lehigh Acres Gazette. We are with the fire chief and the PIO from the Forestry Department. We're going to talk about all the fires we've been having in Lehigh Acres and what you can do to try to stop this. Okay. Hi, Chief.
How are you?
I'm doing real good.
Very good.
What can we do to try to, I know we have a burn, I don't want to say burn ban, we have an ordinance on the book, or sort of ordinance on the book to have them to stop outside burning.
That's correct.
Okay, and I know one fire was started by the ATV and one was a cigarette, but what can we do to help the fire department not to have these big fires?
Well, one of the things we want to do is get the word out to the public. It's all about fire prevention. What we want all the citizens of Lehigh to understand that we are in some of the worst drought conditions that we've been in since the very large fire that we saw in 2006. So really what we're asking is that our citizens be a lot more conscious of what they're doing. Anything that could start a spark or create heat, it does not take very much at all in these very, very dry conditions to start a fire. As you can see, the recent fire we had was as little as just a cigarette and very low-lying fuel. A little bit of wind takes the low-lying fuel and the medium fuel, which takes it into high fuels, and off the fire goes. So the biggest thing right now that we really, really need to do as far as the prevention side goes is they have to be very, very conscious of what they're doing and a little bit more careful. A lot of times people don't think about, they have hot coals right after a barbecue and they go and they dump them in the empty lot. That's a big problem. Cigarettes being thrown out of car windows, that's a huge problem. Here in Lehigh Acres we have 96,000 undeveloped lots, and it's in an urban interface with 38,000 homes integrated in here, and we have a lot of ATVs that come out here and ride, and they have hot mufflers and they ride through the woods. People parking their cars off the side of the road with the engines running in high to medium fuel. Again, those are all things that can cause a fire very, very quickly. So that's what we ask, that you just be a little bit more conscious about what you're doing.
I'm going to turn the camera over to Samantha with the Forestry Department. What would you like to add to Chief DeLallo's?
We are actually projecting that this wildfire season is going to be the worst on record. So to reiterate what Chief DeLallo said, we just want everyone to be very careful about what they're doing, conscious. And then also when we come in and there is an evacuation because a wildfire is going to come through, heed those warnings. Please evacuate. Have a kit ready. Be prepared for 3 to 5 days of not being in your home, because we need to focus on fighting and containing that wildfire and not have you there in the way of us doing what we need to do. We need to focus on that. So we encourage the public to not only be vigilant of their own actions, but also be cognizant whenever we evacuate you. Please take those warnings and please evacuate your residents.
Let me ask you a question real quick. During the two fires we had up here on 16th and Rush, then on Ann Avenue fire, there was a lot of people out there looking at the fire, sort of in the way but not in the way. Mm-hmm. I know LCSO was trying to move people out of the way and everything else. That's been a real issue, especially the last two fires. I know the chief is nodding real hard. I'm gonna back up a little bit, but get both of you in the picture. I know that's been a real issue. So how can we get those looky-loos, you or chief or whoever wants to take the? I hate to say looky-loos, but I know out here in Rush there was a lot of people. There was almost 30 people down the road from here, just looking at the fire. That's pretty dangerous for the fire department and LCSO and you guys who they're trying to do their jobs. And how do we get them not to do that?
Well, we encourage them not to do that because it can create an incident within an incident. So while we're fighting a fire, our focus is on the fire, and if you get in the way of our heavy apparatus or equipment that's there, it can potentially cause an injury or cause us to actually step back from fighting a fire, and then we may have been able to stop that fire at a certain containment percentage, and then if you're in the way and we're having to worry about making sure that you're safe, then we're not focusing 100% on the wildfire. If you wanted to add to that.
Yeah, I agree with Samantha on this. One of the biggest problems that we have at these brush fires is we have a lot of citizens that want to come in and see what's going on, and I understand that it's fascinating, and I want to be compassionate to the fact that a lot of people want to protect their property and they want to protect all their personal belongings, but they're actually hindering the fire attack. They're in our way, and when you come into these fire areas and fire conditions, there's a lot of fire, there's a lot of flames, there's a lot of heat, but there's also a lot of smoke, and the smoke really you can't see. And so we come down these roads with big trucks, and forestry's coming out of the woods with tractors, and we have citizens running around in the streets, and we just don't want anybody else to get hurt. As Samantha said, it creates another incident within an incident when now we have to help somebody that we've hurt or stop what we're doing. So we highly encourage everybody that if you are in the area of a fire, you need to evacuate the immediate area and let us come in and do our jobs.
Thank you both for letting me do this today and let me get this out to our readers and see if this information will help them and help you guys out at the same time. Thank you very much.
Thank you.